Hi everyone, I'm Michael with Bad Goblin Games. Today we're going to play a game of Ages of Conflict. Ages of Conflict is a 6 millimeter miniatures war game. This is multi-genre, so we can do ancients, we can do fantasy, black powder, and so on. Today the game we're playing is fantasy. So introduce a couple of other people who we're playing here.
Brian, I'll be playing the ratkin today.
I'm Mike Stoneburner. I'm going to be playing the elves.
I'm Brad.
Brad's doing nothing.
Taking pictures.
Brad's gonna be taking some of the closer shots for us today. So none of us are professionals. We're just gamers. If you kind of look around the room a bit, you'll see board games, there's role playing games, other miniature games. So none of us are professionals here. We're just going to play a game, and we're going to kind of film it so everyone kind of get a little better idea of how the game plays and how the game flows. So we're just going to probably do 3 or 4 turns. We're not going to do a complete game, but just enough where we can give an idea of how the game works. So Brian and Mike are going to play, and I'll kind of talk through some things as they're going. So, all right, go ahead and start.
All right.
So the first thing we're going to do is issue orders. Ages of Conflict is an orders-based system, so every unit on the table receives an order. We just have some little order tokens here. The orders do 2 things. They determine what your unit is going to do during a turn, or what it's allowed to do during that turn. And the order also determines what point in the turn sequence that it actually can carry out that order. So all the orders are being issued face down. That way your opponent doesn't quite know what's going on. Some of the other units here have other tokens. So we have this Wood Elf Cavalry here. They have a skirmishing token on them, and that just denotes that that unit is in a skirmishing formation, rather than just being you're lined up shoulder to shoulder. So we do have several different formations available in the game, and we just use these tokens to help us remember. If it's not obvious what formation they're in, they help us remember. So Mike is counting out, or he's basically just double checking to make sure everyone has an order. If you forget to give a unit an order, it loses its turn. So it's important that every unit does get its order. All right, we've got an order. All right, we're going to roll for initiative now. So you issue your orders without knowing whether or not you're going to go first.
Got 3.
I have 2.
I will
Go first.
All right.
So the basic mechanic that we use for initiative is really it's the same mechanic we use throughout. It's a D10 dice pool. And what they're doing now is they're activating units. So right now we're in what we call the reveal orders and movement phase.
Oh, sorry. I forgot you have to
charge.
So they take turns flipping an order. And when you flip an order, that basically activates the unit. If that order allows movement, for example, Brian has these giant rats. He gave them a charge order. So if that order permits movement, he moves the unit at that time. So this phase is going to persist until every unit has had its order flipped over. Forward. March. That's March.
March. Yes. These guys are my archers, right?
That's your wood elf. That's your cavalry. Yeah, your cavalry.
Okay, so that's 9.
Well, that's their base move.
So if I did a double move, then I would move 18, twice that. Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so but I just did a march, so I'm just moving.
Well, you can go up to 18.
Okay.
So when you give them march orders, they can go up to their quick pace. For you, it's 18 centimeters.
Okay. I'm just gonna move them 9.
Okay. Which March.
And these are my tree folk elders.
Yep.
Can move them farther, but that's as far as I'm going to move.
No.
So the activating actions, it helps keep the players engaged in the game. So you can really see that you're doing something in the game every, probably every 10 to 20 seconds. You're doing something. Now they can go up to 10, Mike.
Right. Yeah, I'm just kind of laying back a little bit
Oh,
here.
okay. So make sure you do. Okay.
Yeah, I got that rule finally.
Okay.
March. And these are my
Which one?
saplings, right? Tree
Yes.
folk saplings.
Yep. So this is Mike is playing a wood elf army.
Yes, they are going to move 10.
It has most of the elves that are in there are archer based. There are some basically tree guys that are acting as his infantry. So that's who he's moving right now. He's moving what we call some tree folk saplings. So these are little small tree guys.
So I moved them twice their movement, but I don't have to worry about rolling for.
That's only if you do a charge.
Sure. Gotcha.
Okay.
These are my
Your tree folk.
tree folk. Yeah.
Let me know if I'm in your way, bro.
More tree folk are marching.
So this is the base scale that we use in the game. So we're playing today with 60 by 30 millimeter bases. You can use the different size bases, 40 by 40 or 40 by 20. We tend to use 60 by 30 or 40 by 40. And what each of these bases represents, at least for the infantry, it's a company of about 100 soldiers, and you see they're formed up into. We use the term battalions. So instead of having one company or individual companies running around, they get formed up into larger tactical units.
Whoops. Can't move him. Give him first missiles.
Archers.
So if you notice, as they're flipping over tokens, sometimes they move, sometimes they don't. The order, it determines what they can do, and in this case, it determines how far they can move, if at all. So, for example, Mike has a ballista unit here. It has second missiles, so it's a slow firing weapon. The second missiles prevents that unit from moving. Same thing over here. One of Brian's units has first missiles, which means it's going to shoot its missiles very early or cast its missiles very early in the round, though it also prevents them from moving.
And that is all my dice, so. Rest is you.
Okay. I just have this one left. He's marching.
Now, we started the game, our standard deployment zone for just a pitched battle, which is all we're doing here today, is 40 centimeters, so 40 centimeters from the edge of the table. This gets you into combat pretty quick, so they'll really be casting missiles at each other probably this turn, and they'll probably be locked in hand combat next turn. You can start further back if you want. Just the further away you are from each other, the longer it's going to take for you to really get engaged in hand combat. Though the more time you do give yourself to maneuver around and get a little better position.
One guy that I gave first missiles, I was going to have him do a spell, but he's actually not going to do it.
Okay.
He's going to wait.
All right, so everyone's moved.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So once everyone's activated, that basically concludes the reveal orders and movement phase. So now we're going into the combat phase. And the combat phase is split up into four. The first phase is first missiles. So any units that have a first missiles order, if they have a missile weapon like a bow or a musket, now they can shoot that weapon. So Brian, you want initiative?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was going to use him, but nobody's in range yet. So
Okay.
well, that's my first missile.
Mike, you don't have any, do you?
I have no first missiles.
Okay. You have any more, Brian?
Nope.
Okay. So no one's actually shooting first missiles this turn, so we skip on to units with march orders. So yeah, march orders, if the unit has a missile weapon, they can shoot them now. So the difference is basically first missiles is that unit doesn't move. They're spending their entire turn just preparing to shoot. So because they did that, they get first crack at shooting.
I don't have any more. I don't have any on forward that can shoot.
Okay.
Or march. We'll get that down eventually.
Mike, do you have any? Oh, yeah, you should have quite a few.
Yes. So
There's a couple anyway.
So I can fire on these guys now.
Yep.
And my range is 35 long.
Yep.
So and the short range for these are, let me decide, 12.
Yeah.
So these guys are out of short range, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So I have to go with my long range.
You want to cast missiles at them?
I do.
Okay. So real quick about our basic mechanic in the game. We do have the basic mechanic is a D10 dice pool. So everything that we attempt includes you're rolling a group of D10. The more D10 you're rolling, the better chance you have of succeeding. So the more D10 you have, basically the better you are at that task. And everything is against the target number. And the higher the target number, the more difficult it is to succeed.
Defensive 5.
Right.
Okay.
So Mike's Wood Elves here, they have a range tag value of 4d10. So he's going to roll 4 dice. And you said your defense is a 5, Brian? He needs 5s to defeat Brian's defense. So every roll that's a 5 or more is a success. All right. So
Okay, so I'm going to use these guys first.
Yeah.
For shooting. And that's 2 successes.
So the attacks are by company. It's not the entire battalion. It's individual companies attack.
So my target number would be a 7,
7.
and I have toughness of 2. So my red dice will be my toughness dice.
So Brian's making a casualty save now. If you've played something like D&D, then this is basically like a saving throw.
That's 3 successes. 4. You had
4.
5, right? That was my target number. 4 successes.
So real quick, so the way this works is the casualty check number that Brian needs to roll is 5 plus the number of successes that Mike achieved when he rolled. So that time he rolled 4 successes. So Brian's casualty check, he needs to roll a 9 or more now.
1 9.
He only needs 1 of those dice to be a success. So he got it. So he got 1 success out of that. So that's all he needed.
These guys are shooting. 3 successes.
10.
And finally, my last company. Only 1.
Assuming 1 Brian failed.
Yep.
Passed.
Okay.
So I do want to point out that Mike was shooting at giant rats. So they're much tougher than most of the other units in this that you're going to see on the field. Oh, is that range?
That's right at 35. Almost not.
Gotta get that extra millimeter in there.
So we do allow pre-measuring, so you can pre-measure to see if your opponent's in range before you decide on an action. And millimeters count in this game. It is a centimeters-based game, so every millimeter counts.
So they're out of range.
Yeah, I think at that point, Mike's archers are maybe two millimeters out of range.
Yep, just.
Did you want to see if they were? He was in it.
Oh, let's do that.
I'll let you try once.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
Yep.
only one unit.
Just this one.
Okay.
Okay, so these.
I get a bonus for pointing that out.
Gamesmanship bonus.
My
Should be at 4.
Oh,
Same as the other.
yeah, these are up here, right? War bows. What was
5?
Oh, still 5. So that's 1 success.
Pass.
Okay.
Oh, did you roll a 10?
I did.
Oh, okay. All right. So when we're attacking, if we do have critical hits in the game, so if one of the dice that you roll is a 10, then that's a critical hit, and that automatically inflicts a break token on the unit you're attacking. So every unit has a break point, and that the break point really just represents like the combination of the unit's ability to withstand like stress and fatigue and injuries. So that 10 was a critical, it automatically inflicts a break point. And once that unit hits accumulates a certain number of those tokens, then they either fall back or they retreat entirely from the field. Is that it for March?
That's it for me.
Okay. All right, we're not in hand-to-hand.
Second missile.
So we're going to. So after March, we go into hand-to-hand. We just don't have anybody in hand-to-hand combat yet. So we're going to go into second missiles. Second missiles represents your ranged weapons that are just slower to shoot. Now that's like your heavy crossbows, your muskets, catapults, stuff like that. So instead of using reload tokens or keeping track of, they shot last turn, they can't shoot this turn, we just have them shooting last in the combat phase.
I'll use my sonic cane.
So Brian's trying out a weapon that this is our first time actually using it today. The rats have a sonic cannon, so it's basically just looks like a devastating sound wave attack. So we'll see how this works out today. This is the first time using it.
And it has no range bonus, right? It's just
Right, it's just straight roll.
Yep. So both these two units are within range, and armor doesn't matter. So I'm just rolling against a defensive 2.
Yep.
You got it.
So that would be 3
And critical automatic.
and an automatic.
Okay, so automatically put one of these here.
Yep.
And I'm rolling 2 dice, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I got 3 successes. Need 8.
Oh, 1 and a 2.
And that was close to stone burning.
That was close.
So let me explain this real quick, Mike.
I like that.
Got a critical. It hits all the units in the range.
Oh, that's right. It was a single attack. Yeah. Sorry.
Yep.
That's
Wow.
right. Yep. So when you're rolling a cat, so again, the casualty save is that really just represents whether or not the unit could take that hit. When you roll that casualty save, one of 3 things is going to happen. You're either going to pass, in which case nothing happens to the unit. You're going to fail, and if you fail, then you get a break token. Or in Mike's case, he rolled bad enough to the unit is a casualty. It's taken off the board. Now, in this case, the sonic cannon here is a little unique. It actually doesn't inflict casualties. But if this were, say, like a ballista, then that unit would come off, or that company would come off the board. As it is, it just gets another break token. Mm-hmm. All right. And the break token belongs to the entire battalion. Right, and now you can roll. Sorry, I just want to explain that. Now you can roll for those guys.
Okay. That's your same target number. And what was that again? 8. 10.
Saw that one go up.
Yeah.
All right, so Mike saved that one. He rolled a 1 and a 10, so 1 is a failure, but the 10 passed. Now you only need one of the dice to be a success, so he passed that one.
Do you have any second missiles?
I do.
Okay.
I have ballista. And they're both going to shoot at your rat things.
What?
I guess you're all rat things, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
But it's just thinking you only roll once. That's just the
Okay.
one base.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I know you got excited about
I
it.
did.
So
I was like, I got 2.
Defense 5.
Okay, so I'm rolling. Where are these? These are my large ballista. 4 die 10.
Go
So
figure.
you should. Large ballista.
Is it long range?
Yeah, so you get a +1 to that. So you roll 5
Okay.
10.
Yeah, that's definitely within 60.
And it has an armor piercing of 1, so that lowers my defense down to a 4.
Okay. Two.
That's a close. That's a pretty bad roll.
That was.
Did get a critical.
I did get a critical.
You got 4 successes?
2.
2 successes. So I needed a 7. I got it. Got nailed.
I guess I'm supposed to be pulling tokens back, right? As my guys do stuff.
Yeah, that's usually best. That way you know they already want us.
Right. The musketeers
Ratketeers?
are not shooting anything because nothing is close enough to hit yet. Should have moved.
I could have given them like some little bright colored plumes coming out of it.
The Mouseketeers.
2 years.
Yeah.
Okay. You got any more second missiles?
I do.
Ah,
Right here.
another ballista.
So,
You should be well acquainted with the ballista as much as you shot them in the past.
okay, so if I target these guys, then I have forest to deal with.
Yeah, we didn't really say whether that's soft or hard cover. We don't want to make it.
Oh, now it's got to be hard.
Since you're shooting me.
Yeah.
All
That's
right, 1 through 5, it's soft. So we didn't say before the game whether these woods are soft or hard, basically whether you can see through them or not. We should have done that. We just didn't. So we're just going to roll a dice. 1 through 5, they're soft cover.
6.
Hard cover.
Hard cover.
So hard cover basically means Mike actually just can't shoot through them. He doesn't. If the woods block the line of sight, so he actually can't.
I can't target these guys, but I can target
Those guys.
these guys. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to target this unit, this company right there. And
Defense would be a 6, but your armor piercing lowers it to a 5.
okay, I'm rolling 5 dice again because it's
This might hurt.
long range. Two successes.
And
What? Who are you shooting?
These guys.
What was their defense?
5.
Oh, even with minus. Oh, those
Yeah, it was 6.
Okay, those guys are pretty good armor, aren't they?
I guess so.
But they are unreliable, so I get 1.
Oh.
And how many successes did you get?
2.
Oh, we're good.
That.
Those are some reliable, unreliable. I'm going to have my catapult, or ratapult. I'm sorry. And it's going to shoot these tree saplings here.
So if you notice when they've been making their casualty checks, usually they're rolling a 2d10. Casualty checks are command based, and for most units,
Are in range.
it's 2d10. For those rats, Brian has they have a trait called unreliable, and that reduces that roll down to 1d10.
Yeah, what is their defense?
Those are the
Saplings.
saplings. Theirs with the natural armor is 3.
I have armor piercing of 4. So we'll lower that down to minimum of 2.
Okay.
And I'm and I miss completely.
Wow.
Almost over.
That's all
Close.
close.
Got almost a 4 already.
So you need to lose two.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, too. Yeah.
Okay,
I was
so
gonna-
1 hit. Good call.
You had to tell him, didn't you?
I was thinking, well, I was missing there. Like 4 is higher than 2.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
So that's 1 success, so I need a 6 or better.
Yep.
On 2 dice. And I got it.
Do you have any more second lessons?
I do not.
That is it for me.
What's their presence from?
3.
3. Okay. All right, so that's it for the combat phase. So now we're going to go into the in-turn phase. In the in-turn phase, there's several things that happen here. The only thing that's going to happen at the moment is they're going to roll to see if they can get any of these break tokens removed. So removing the break token is really just, say, the unit's leader reasserting some command, reasserting some cohesion, confidence. So they're going to roll for each unit that has a break token, they're going to make a command check, 2d10 for most units, and every success removes a token.
It's a stubborn end to that.
Stubborn, no, discipline does.
I move no tokens.
So Brian rolled a 1 and a 2. A success is a 6 or more. So for every one of those that is a 6, that's a success. Brian rolled a 1 and a 2, so he didn't remove any tokens for that unit. Is that all you have?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so I got to roll for each of these.
Yep.
This one first. 7.
All right, take one of those off.
Remove 1 token. And then these guys. 10.
All right, got it. So as the game progresses and units accumulate breakpoints, that basically is that unit kind of their confidence beginning to waver a bit. So you have to make a decision whether or not, if a unit is accumulating a good number of breakpoints, you have to make a decision whether or not you want to pull that unit back and try to get some of those tokens off, or just keep advancing. So the other thing we do in the intern phase, any units that still have a token, we'll go ahead and take all yours off, Mike.
Take them all off?
Yeah, take them all off.
Okay.
If they have tokens still on them, you go ahead and take them off. Brian's just jumping ahead a little bit.
I was trying to follow him. His bad habits.
Don't rely upon Brian for stuff. He'll lead you down the wrong path. All right. So now that's the end of the end phase. So now we go back to the beginning of the turn, which is issuing orders. So now they go back and issue orders. When issuing orders, it's not an alternating thing. They can just issue until they're all done. They don't have to go back and forth issuing. Since they're flipped open or flipped over, you don't see what your opponent's doing. There's no reason to alternate.
So these ballistas I can actually move. I can issue
you
march orders and they can still fire.
No.
That's right. If they move at all, they don't fire.
If you want them to shoot, they have to get second missiles.
Okay.
I mean, they're pretty good where they are. I mean, I
True.
would leave it.
So in order to get some of these abilities from my hero, you mentioned that I should be attached to one of these cannons.
Yeah, you can.
Should I?
Well, so some of your magic items are they apply to like an entire unit.
Mm-hmm.
So you get more benefit if they're in a unit.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Right, like this resolute banner, I can remove 1 break token automatically, but I have to be attached to that unit to do that.
Well, it can apply just to him because it is a unit.
Okay.
But if you put him with other, like if he was in this battalion, then the entire battalion would benefit from that.
Okay.
Rather than just him. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, I mean, it's just a matter of whether or not you really want him to go marching into combat.
Right.
I mean, he is a hero, so he probably would.
Okay.
That's
And
really-
that's what I'll do. I will.
But he's an elven hero, so he's hiding in the back.
That's true. Yeah.
So I would issue a forward.
So if you want him to join,
Right.
Just you can just issue him a march order,
Mhm.
and you can just mark the contact at that unit, and you can place them in there.
Okay.
Just leave them where they are.
Right.
And the other benefit then is that battalion uses his command
Right.
at that point rather than their own.
Okay. And his command would be
A 4. This is a 4.
right there. It is right there on the special. I'm almost done, right? All right.
Get your wizard.
Oh, the wizards.
You didn't have to tell him.
I don't know that they're in range for any spells that I've picked though.
I'm still want to give them something just in case.
Yeah.
If you don't give them anything, they can't. You have to
They
watch
can't do
them
anything,
anything,
right.
So
Okay.
I would give them a march at least, so they
Yes. Makes sense.
excuse me, so you have some options. All right, does everybody have orders?
Yep.
All right, let's roll for initiative.
2.
Also 2.
All right, so who has the highest roll out of this? Looks like Brian or Mike with a 7. All right, so they rolled an equal number of successes when they were doing initiative. So at that point, you just look at whoever rolled the highest individual dice, and that was Mike in this instance.
Okay. So I am going to move forward.
March.
March, yes. I'll get it right one of these days.
We just renamed one of our orders recently, so we're all still trying to acclimate to the new name. So we moved on to the reveal orders and movement phase. So again, they're flipping over a token, and if that token permits movement, then they're going to move that unit now. What you can't do if Mike flipped over that token and moved the unit, he can't flip over the token and then decide to move the unit later in the turn. So if he wants to move it, he has to move it as he flips over that token. Look at something over here.
Oh, that's 5 inches.
It's still recording.
Use the centimeter set.
Yeah.
Not the inch.
I was wondering, it's like, it looks like more than 5 centimeters.
So the way movement works, every unit has a movement pace, and for most of the units on here, that's going to be 5 centimeters. If you give that unit a march order, then if the unit's on smooth terrain, which is basically what all this is, then that unit can move up to double that movement pace. They can go up to 10 centimeters. If they're moving in rough terrain, so that would be like over this hill or through those woods, then maybe you're restricted to what we call an ordinary pace, which is their base movement, so 5 centimeters. If they have a charge order, they can move up to 3 times their movement.
Okay. My hero is moving forward and attaching himself. So I could theoretically move him here then?
Yeah, that's
He's attached?
Yeah. We need a little bit of leeway with that one. And when you do that, that basically flips theirs at the same time.
Okay.
Because otherwise, you get to move your twice.
That's true. Yeah. I was just trying to do that, wasn't I?
Okay.
These guys are moving forward.
It's not going to stop raining today.
So I gave them a charge.
Who knows?
So they're going to charge
Tree folk elders.
Tree folk elders.
So what's your presence?
My presence is only a 3.
Mine is a 3.
All right. So when we engage in hand combat, every unit has an attribute called presence, and presence is it's a couple things. It's a combination of like stamina and like perceived threat. So when you're going into hand combat, you compare the total presence score of the units. So Brian's rats have a presence of 3. Mike's tree folk here have a total presence of 6. So since the tree guys have a higher presence, Brian actually has a role to see if the rats will engage in combat. So he's going to make a command check. And he's 1 success.
And I pass.
And he got it. So the rats gleefully charge into combat.
So how do you want to respond to this charge? You want to run away from me?
No.
No.
I do not.
But these giant rats.
Take it like a tree.
I'm giant trees.
Okay. Your turn.
Okay. I was going to give them first missiles. I forgot, so I'm going to stay there though.
In that case, I will do the same thing over here.
Okay.
I will.
They make it. It is close.
But if I'm closest to closest, then yes. So my presence is only a 3, and yours, I'm assuming, is a lot higher than that.
Well, total.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I do not charge.
All right.
I
So
stay right there.
So Brian made that same check because his presence here is a 3, Mike's here is an 8. So the rats make a command check to see if they could charge into combat, see if they're willing to, and they fail. So they sit right there. They refuse to move. Guess they were cowed by elves.
Okay, these guys are going to move forward. Kind of stuff back behind my ear.
It's a little embarrassing, Brian.
It was.
I'm going to forfeit because of that. I mean,
I would have, I was against something other than that.
still have faith.
Second missiles. First missiles. My wizard's marching. Just put that here.
Radical is going to sit still.
Okay. And this is my last one, I think. Second missiles.
So you're actually going to turn into this.
So we make movement pretty free form. As long as you're a certain distance away from an enemy, we try to make movement a little more free form just to kind of keep the game moving quickly. So when you're a certain distance away from your enemy, you don't really have to worry about wheeling or pivoting or anything like that. You just determine, you measure from one point to the other and you move it. So as long as no part of your unit ends up moving longer than it's allowed, then you can basically move how you want to move.
Yeah, that's all the orders.
Right.
Did that for the orders?
Yep.
All right. Let's go into our combat phase first.
First missiles. I have one.
One issue. You go first.
Okay, I'm going to fire on these guys.
Shoot.
I'm going to go, 1 to 1.
Oh, they're in range.
I just checked. 35. Just.
You have your achievement on.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that too. So, 4 die 10. These guys have war bows, so
You don't get a bonus.
I don't get a bonus, do I? Oh, okay. So what is their defense here?
Those are their mutants for
6.
giant mutated
Okay. These guys from these
rat.
2 successes. And I rolled a 10. So it's an automatic breakpoint.
They have 1 rank of toughness. I got 8.
This. Okay, the next one, middle to the middle. 3 successes.
Good.
Finally, the ends. 3 successes.
Still good.
Man.
Tough rats.
Puny elf arrows. I have no first misses.
Okay, that was my only one.
All right. Let's move on to march orders.
Okay, so I guess we're fighting.
No, we're march orders.
Oh, march orders. So my guys here can fire.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so we're gonna try to take out the rats. That's their only job right now, is to take these rats out. So these guys are
So they're all
all
in
4
range.
die 10. I guess I'll check it, right?
They all should be.
35.
So we determined range by company. So Mike was basically just making sure that this company on the far left could target the rat, make sure they were in range.
Okay. So I'm doing 4 die 10. And your toughness again for the rat things.
6. So
Yeah, sounds right.
5.
5. You sure as hell 4.
It's a 5.
Oh, look at that. There's 4 successes.
And there's a 10. Okay, and a 9.
The second one. 3, and there's a 10.
And I failed anyway.
Okay.
And
You died.
I rolled a 1.
Wow. So with Brian's casualty save here, he failed the casualty save, but he also rolled a 1 in there, which in that case means that that unit dies. So those giant rats are removed from the board. They also did their job.
They did. So I've wasted these.
Yeah.
Because I can't retarget.
See, I don't have
I
anybody
got
else
these
going on
guys.
march.
I don't know. I don't think those are even in range.
These are giant creatures, so they're going to block your line of sight.
Okay.
And you could try indirect if you
I
want
can
to.
do this though.
So, you know?
Right.
Okay, so you have to go from the middle of his base. So
Okay.
the line of sight is from the middle of the base to that should be okay.
Okay. And I have the range.
Yep.
Just so. All right, I'm gonna target these guys here.
They have a defense of 6.
Okay. No successes.
Oh, that's pretty hard to do.
Not for me. Okay, that's it.
You don't have any, Brian?
Not for March. No.
All right, so now, excuse me, now we're going to go into hand combat. So we have started hand combat here. We have some giant rats against some tree folk elders. So combat is hand combat rather is simultaneous. So it doesn't really matter who rolls first. if Brian rolls first and these tree folk are removed as casualties, they still get to attack.
What's your tree folks defense?
Theirs is 5 with a toughness of 2, and they have fear.
Okay. I also have fear.
Okay.
So you have armor piercing.
Yep. So what was your defense?
5.
5. Yeah, armor piercing 1. So I'll lower that to a 4. That would be 5 hits with a 10. At least 1 10.
Okay. You say 5?
5.
Wow. Okay, so now since I have a toughness of 2.
Sorry, your base command. Oh, you got some.
Yeah, I got 2 for my base command and 2 for my toughness, right?
Yeah, we'll just do the red for your toughness.
Okay. And I gotta roll 10.
You don't have to.
Yeah, 5 successes, right?
You can just not.
Oh,
what is this?
What
3 10s and a 9.
That needs a picture.
Yeah.
Mike will never. He will never roll this well in his life.
Best
No,
roll ever.
This is the #1 roll.
No
right
one's
here.
gonna. If we tell people this, they won't believe it.
That's supposed to be all 1s. I was expecting a stone burner.
That's usually what I do.
Okay, well, so much for that.
Best roll he's ever had.
My defense is a 5.
Okay.
Mike, if I were you, I would just quit the game now on a high note.
Yes. All right, I'm out of here.
Just do a Costanza and done.
All right. Okay, so I'm doing Tree Folk Elders. 6.
6.
Wow.
I don't think you have. No. Okay.
And your defense is 5.
Let's see, 1 10.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 successes, 1 10.
And 9. And I did not get a 9, and I rolled a 1.
That's not your toughness die?
Nope.
Nope. Oh, jeez.
My giant rats are not faring well.
And wow. Tree folk take out the other giant rats.
Nice.
Well, they did not do their job.
No, they did not. It's,
Okay, second missiles?
Yep, that's it for hand combat, so we'll go on to second missiles.
Second missiles. Okay. I'm going to start with these guys. The ballistas are going to, they're within long range, not short. So we're going to shoot these guys.
Ratman?
Defense is 6.
So there's 4
Do you have any armor, personally?
Of course. It's a large ballista, right?
I'm pitching a 1.
2.
At long range.
Long range.
1.
You get a +1.
+1 because of self range.
5 or more.
5 or more. Oh, look at those 2 10s. With a total of 4 successes.
1 toughness. Yeah, 4 successes?
Yes.
Yep. Got it.
Yep. Okay.
Sonic cannon. We'll shoot down the line again. How far did you go?
35.
35.
So it's probably those 2 and not this one.
Yep. Same 2 units again. I'm rolling 3 dice against a defense of 2. That would be 2 successes.
Okay. These are my saplings. You got nothing.
Oh, what the heck is this?
Double 10s!
He's gonna steal those dice from me.
Yeah, these are nice dice. Okay. 8.
Like neck rolls.
Must be the film here.
Is it the camera?
The camera.
You only perform well on the camera.
I guess so.
Second missiles. Would you get more?
I got one more here. Yeah, it looks like I can I, will these guys be in the way?
If you can target from the middle of their base
Yeah.
to the middle of their base, then you're okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. So I'm doing 5 dice.
And defense 6. So 5.
2 successes.
And a 1. So and my catapult. He's going to catapult's going to or ratpult and target your tree guy. What's your arm?
5.
Defense.
5.
And armor piercing a 4. That would be 3 hits.
Those are some sharp rats. Okay, so I have a toughness of 2. How many was that?
3.
There's an 8 and a 9.
Okay. That is all my second missiles.
Oh, you gave your muskets full or march orders?
I was trying to move him into range, and
Yeah.
I would have just left him.
That might be out of range still. It's pretty.
I can protect you.
No, that's 15.
I'm
yeah.
gonna find out.
Yeah, that's 15. You would have been able.
Yeah. Next turn.
Did you actually move him though this turn? Oh, okay.
I moved him up. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, you would have been able. If you didn't move him, you probably would have been able to.
Yeah, because I moved 10.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, that's it.
On the second missile.
Yep, end of the round.
All right, so we're back to the in phase. So everyone takes their orders off.
Hold on, bro.
Even Brian?
If I do it in the correct order.
And then we'll roll for breakpoints to remove breakpoints.
Roll for these guys. Yes.
Hmm.
Roll for these guys. Yes. 8 and a 9. Okay.
All right, that's the end of the turn. We'll go back to issuing orders now.
Okay. Is that a good idea?
Those guys on the end are kind of iffy.
Yeah. Oh, I'm still looking for orders here.
No cheating over there.
Yeah. It's a good idea. Thanks, Mike.
Still against one Brownsburg. Oh wow, I'm hoping for what the elves.
Oh, I gotta do something with these archers here, huh?
Get your wizards. We got wizards.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I picked all kinds of spells that I have to do within 30 centimeters. But
Don't forget your leadership dice too. You got leadership dice too.
gotcha.
While they're doing that, we have special dice in the game we call leadership dice or leadership actions, and these just really represent individual leaders, leaders that aren't really they're not separate heroes or anything in the game. These dice just represent the actions that your leaders carry out. They're helping units rally if they need to, giving a little boost in an attack, stuff like that.
Not moving.
Second missiles.
Not moving.
Forward.
Remember, skirmishers, you could give them charge and they don't risk becoming disorganized.
That's right. I did
You won't be
forget
able to shoot if you do that,
Right.
But you can still go really quick and
Right.
First missile.
Okay. Forward. Oh, so close.
they didn't make it.
Nope.
Why didn't you give him charge?
Because I'm not that smart.
You know what's about to happen. You have them there. You can turn your sonic cannons to perfect inflate on the.
Yeah.
Wouldn't go that far. Unfortunately.
Well, yeah, you can move it, but you can get like a perfect inflate. You can charge up and still shoot that cannon.
That's true.
She's around all the lines.
The wizard is marching. So I can move 5. I can move all the way up to 10. And first missiles.
Okay. It's all mine with you.
We got one more. I should have him charge you guys.
So we are in northeast Florida, where it rains every single day. So y'all might hear a little bit of rain on the video. Hopefully it's not too loud. When's the last time it didn't rain? In like 2 weeks.
3 weeks ago, they
It
had
only rains here. That's it. That's it.
first missile was for you.
First missiles for you. These guys.
Let me guess who they're shooting.
We're gonna shoot these guys. And that's still 35. 35.
Defense signals.
Zero.
That's better.
Middle to middle.
Yeah,
That's more like it.
0.
1.
that's the black we know.
Ooh, nice. And the last on the ends.
Wow.
1, but it's a 10.
Should move that with me. Okay. My first missiles. Spow, spow. Eat the muskets.
Probably can't shoot on first missiles.
Second missiles. Put the wrong one in there.
We're-
We'll just.
Oh, I did mine on first missiles.
Yeah, he put the wrong order.
I put the wrong order down.
Oh.
That's what I
I'll
meant.
be nice and let you change it.
I'm rolling 4 dice. What is your defense?
So you shoot what? Who shoot what?
The arquebus.
We're on first.
We're on first missiles.
We're on first missiles. I'm not shooting you. Your turn.
Okay.
But there are no more first missiles. So.
So march.
Okay. We can fire on these guys. Since they're skirmishing, right?
Normally they would not be able to shoot because there's an arc of fire, though they're skirmishing, so they have much more broad arc of fire.
But their own units provide cover.
Right, they all can't. They're basically shooting.
Just
So-
that.
Well, they're skirmishing. So actually, they can, but he's going to get a cover bonus because your units are providing a cover bonus.
Okay. Might as well try.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll definitely try. I mean,
So I just start with them.
Okay. So they're rolling 4 dice. And you're
6, 5.
you might be at short range there, Mike.
okay.
They have 6.
So these are
You're definitely short range.
Yeah.
using more bows.
So you get +1 at short range.
Okay.
And you said 5 and 6.
6. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But no 10s.
Break.
Kill them if that's over 1.
That's right.
Okay, so if I shoot these guys, these are providing cover bonus.
Yeah,
right?
so he's gonna get a +1 to his.
So now you need a 7.
Okay. I'm still rolling 6. These guys might not be in short range.
They're gonna be in long range.
Okay, so I lose a die. I'm still trying to hit a 6. One more. There's 2.
7.
There's 1.
There's failure.
I need a
Brian's he's failing a couple casualty checks, but he's not failing and rolling a 1. So in this case, you're just accumulating some break tokens.
Now these guys can shoot. Now do they have
It's cumulative, yes.
so?
So now you have target number 8.
Okay. And that's 1 success.
A pass.
Okay. So now the final
99.
Oh, there's 1. 10.
Ten.
Okay.
Check their presence is 2. So one more. Oh yeah, 2 more. 2 can be above.
So this unit has a total presence, or their break point right now is a 6. They have accumulated 5 break tokens. If they get 2 more, since you have to be above your break token or your break value, once you get above it, then this unit tests to see if they either fall back or they just route from the battlefield. So they're at 5 now. Once they're above the value, their value is 6.
Okay.
I would just push hard.
We're on forward, right?
March.
March. We'll get it, Emmett. He's going to cast a spell.
Okay.
He's going to cast Frenzy.
This thing?
Things
Is it
that
red?
work for it. Or you can try to dispel this.
I'm trying to figure out how many. I got to announce how many dice I'm using first, right? And it's you get 2 plus your caster level for dice.
Mm-hmm. I just read that.
Yes. Yep.
So I would have 6, but I specialize.
Oh, you did.
Yes, I did. All my spells in one school.
Oh.
So I have 7 dice. I'm going to cast Frenzy on the unit in front of me there.
I'm going to try to counterspell it.
So I need at least 2 successes to cast this. Do I want to save any die?
So wizards have a casting pool, just like every other mechanic. The difference here is that a wizard can try to cast more than one spell in a turn. So Brian's wizard has 7 dice in his pool. He could choose to try to. So of those 7, he's going to use 5 for this spell. So he then could turn around and use his remaining 2 dice to try to cast another spell.
How many do you want to use on your dispel?
All your dice.
And you won't be able to cast a spell. Yeah. Fine.
Go with that. All right. You're rolling 6 dice. Then. Yep.
Got my 2 successes, but
So I have to just.
You got to beat yours.
So I have to have 3 successes. There it is.
okay.
Not on my watch.
Then I will use my last 2 dice
Oh.
and do it again.
I can't dispel it or counterspell it, right?
So
Because I just used all my dice.
Yep.
Right. Right.
But both of these have to be a success for this to work.
What you casting?
Same spell again.
Same spell. Okay.
No!
Look at that.
and I passed. So those guys are now fearless, stubborn, get a plus 2d10 in hand combat, and never fall back due to reaching their break point.
Oh, that's a good time to cast that.
Yes.
Stuff.
That's why I did it.
Wow.
You know?
So Brian just cast a frenzy spell on this unit. So we'll see how that works out here.
Okay, I can shoot. Archers can do something, right?
If you wanted to.
You want to shoot your own guy? Sure. Well, I'm thinking.
I mean, if you want to,
I'm not sure I would.
Put them out of their misery.
yeah. Clear that line out of my way.
No, I don't think I'll shoot my own guys. Thanks for telling me though.
I'm not sure how to do that, Mike.
Because you would have said, "Oh, what's your defense?" It's 2. Oh, I can shoot these guys.
Probably. I wasn't going to point that out this time, but
They block line of sight. They're giants.
yeah, that's
Just these guys. These
Yep.
guys, no. These guys, yes. Okay. So what is their defense?
6.
All right, here we go. Well, there's 2 with a 10.
Give us some 10s here.
And they are unreliable, so they fail.
All right.
Those are just the warriors.
Yeah, that's just the way.
Right. Okay. I am done with marching.
We have no hand to hand since Brian got butt beat the last turn.
I have another hand. Sorry. March.
Oh, you do? Oh, I said you're done. Sorry.
That's my other wizard.
Yep.
And what's the range? Find the spell. Oh, they're just looking at range 30. So, yeah, he's going to cast some of those guys.
Who's casting? Oh, that's right. You got 2 wizards, don't you?
You cast it.
He also has 5 dice, and I need 2. Only need 2 success. Death Ray.
That doesn't sound good.
Sounds pretty good.
It's going to tickle.
But since I'm into, I'm just gonna. That worked for me last time. No, I'm gonna do them all. You only have one wizard,
Yeah.
so you can't dispel.
As far as you know.
Seek all elves are wizards. Okay. I got 2 successes. There we go. I only need 2.
Who are you targeting again? These guys?
Yes.
Okay. Those are my tree folk.
No, oh yeah, sorry.
They have stubborn. Does that help?
No.
I just spelled it
But
right.
actually, I think I did that wrong. I'm just supposed to add the dice to my ranged attack, right? It's a ranged attack.
Oh yeah.
So 2 over permanently.
Yeah, I do that every.
So I'm adding 3 dice to my ranged attack.
It's probably 4 dice, right?
Oh yeah, that's really high.
6?
I need all the dice.
Gosh.
7 plus 3. That's why it's called Death Ray. What's your defense?
9. That's only 4.
It's only 4?
Yeah.
7 with 1 automatic.
Good job, Mike.
Okay.
1 to 10. You've been rolling a lot of things.
I have. There it is.
Do they have toughness?
Doesn't matter.
They
do.
So you wouldn't got extra dice. Yeah. Okay, so much for the Death Ray. Alright.
It looked good though.
Yeah, I got 1 breakpoint out of it.
Okay. That's all of my. Now that was all of my marches. And no hand combat.
No hands. We want a second side.
Now we'll do seconds.
Okay. I'm not. This isn't looking good over here. Oh no, I still have this one. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think what
So it's
changed.
got to go from middle to middle without. But you were shooting at the rats before.
Oh, that's right. That's right. The rats are gone.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't have. I do have. There is cover, but I can go ahead and try to. Anyway.
That blocks my eyesight.
Oh, because it's heavy.
Yeah, there we go.
Right.
We rolled.
Okay. So these guys can shoot. Try to.
So they're ignoring their breakpoints right now, but they can still keep accumulating.
Mm-hmm.
And if the spell fails, if it ends next turn,
Yeah.
that's going to kick in.
Right. So I should still try to shoot them then.
I would still keep kind of pile of breakpoints on them.
That's a good idea. So I just decided this is still long range here. Or... That's 35.
Yep, short's 25.
Okay.
Target numbers are 5.
So I still get an extra die. One, 2, 3, and a 10.
Oh yeah, there's armor piercing.
Yeah, count that. Okay. You got 3?
Yeah. Okay.
So they're at 6. They're right at their break value.
Sonic Cannon.
Wrong.
Boom, 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 boom. And it will go all 3 units now.
Wow. Does that count? My hero?
It's like right in the middle of
My
them.
hero?
I can pivot, right? Like, well, no, that's just going to give him break tokens. I think I'd rather back there. So those 3.
Still just
Yeah, but he has crap done.
But yeah, it counts for the whole battalion.
That's true. It is all one, but yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. Going to get to defense at 2.
Seconds.
So that's 3 plus an automatic on everybody.
Everybody?
Everybody. Give them all. Okay, maybe I do like this.
Okay, so these guys have to roll.
Innate.
And then roll into. And then I do
You
that.
don't see innate.
And I rolled a 1.
It doesn't matter. It won't kill you.
That one doesn't kill.
Oh, okay, that's right. It's the sonic attack, right?
Like they're elf ears. Come on.
So
Did
these
you
guys
kill
have
him?
to roll.
Dainty and use his command.
So his command, my hero is.
But not on a casualty check.
Who you? Oh, that's right. You targeted.
Yeah, targeted.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
So he's still just rolling 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
9!
Okay. You get any other second missiles?
Nope.
Sure.
So,
Well, he's alive.
you see something I don't?
His muskets are about to
Your
annihilate.
ballista can turn.
Oh,
Yeah, you can pivot that.
okay. So I'm going to pivot and shoot on him. Thanks, Brian.
But you don't have to physically pivot, but it's like it can.
Yeah, well, I'm going to just do it for
Yeah.
because it looks cool.
They have a defense of 7.
So this is
And
still.
all person at
long
1.
range.
So target number 6.
And I'm rolling 6. 5. 5. I get 1 that
Wow.
It's still 2.
Got it.
Okay.
Now, finally, I get to use my muskets.
Musketeers.
Yeah, my musketeers.
I think every time you activate them, you have to sing the Mickey Mouse.
I need to come up with a ratkin version of that. R-I-T. Okay, what's your defense?
Which guys? These guys? Front guys?
Seconds.
7. They have an armor piercing of 3.
That's okay. Mine 2.
One. There's a 10 and 4 total hits.
That's 2 10s, isn't it?
But yeah, but you only get 1.
Oh, no. Okay.
4 hits.
So I'm rolling.
No, just started it going down the line.
Okay. So. Okay. And what does stubborn do again? When you use that?
Not this.
Okay.
This would be toughness.
Right.
But you don't have to get.
Sadly.
9 and 10.
Next. That would also be 4 hits.
Nope.
And kill number on
That's it. That's it. Casual.
with a 2. So you just lost.
But I mean,
Okay.
Well, I tell you, technically you can pick which one you want to take off, but we'll let you figure that out at the end. Here, after you lose them all, there's another automatic
okay, so you're going to be above your break.
and 3.
8.
And the last one. No chance at 10, but 3 hits.
Nope.
So another break. You can pull off one unit, whichever one
Let's
you
take
want.
off one on the flanks.
Yeah.
So Mike lost.
Then I'm going to take this one off.
So Mike, a couple things here. So Mike lost one of these companies. It was actually a casualty, so it was removed from the game. Now this unit's total its break point rather is a 3, and it has 5 break tokens on it, so it's above its break point. So now this unit's going to roll a command check. If it passes the check, it's going to fall. The unit's going to fall back. So there's not really a positive result from this. Either the unit's going to fall back if it passes, or if it fails, it's just going to completely route from the table or route from the field. It's going to run. So, Mike, go ahead and roll your command check here.
Okay. 2 dice.
Yep.
7.
All right, so he passed. So that unit makes an immediate move back in this case. So it's gonna move back at a charge pace, so 15 centimeters, and it basically just ignores terrain and other units. So it's just gonna move 15 centimeters back.
Okay. So I'm moving
All
right.
of it, yeah.
All right. So it's moving back 15.
And it keeps these break tokens. So at the end of the turn, it'll test to remove them. But if it doesn't remove enough, it's going to keep that unit's going to keep testing to move back.
And these are disorganized.
Yes, yeah, actually, they're disorganized. Somewhere back to it.
We'll use my catapult next. Targeting 3 guys.
Oh no.
Is that within 15? It is not. So I'm just getting 3 dice, but I still have an AP of 4.
Okay. So it'd only be 2. I have an armor 3.
Yeah.
That would be 3 successes.
Okay. Now I have toughness, so I have 2 of these. And what was it? I just had toughness of 2. 2 of these. And my target number is 8. Ooh, baby. 9, 10, 10.
Okay. That is all my second missiles.
So yours, Mike.
It's all
Yep.
mine.
All right.
End of the round?
Is that all mine, Brian?
Maybe.
All right. So everyone moves their orders. We're in the in phase now. Now Brian cast Frenzy on this unit earlier in the turn. So now he's going to check to see if this spell continues. So basically roll a d6, oh, I'm sorry, d10, and 6 or more succeeds, so you pass. In this case, you rolled a 1, so the spell ends. If he had passed, the spell would have continued on into this turn. All right, so now let's see if we can get rid of some break tokens.
Does that put him at his break point?
He needs to be above it, though.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, Brian might be bringing you one of his leadership dice. You might want to do that too, Mike.
Can you do that at any time, or do you have to do that at a specific time?
I'll go on that dice. No, you can do it now.
Then I will spend one of my leadership die
And you're going to add it.
to remove all break tokens.
So you
You
can do
just
the same thing.
Okay. I will do the same thing. So all these go away.
Yeah. So they both just expended one of their leadership dice to remove all their break tokens. So Ryan removed all from here, Mike removed all from here. So basically that just represents the leader of that unit getting a hold of the unit, rallying them. If they hadn't, Mike's unit would continue to either fall back or rout, and if Ryan's unit had received one more, then it would be testing to do the same thing. So that was a good use of their leadership actions.
I don't want to try here. I'm going to use my hero command here, right? Oh, it's close.
That's what he needed. That one stay.
It did.
Did you get touch for that one?
I would not have.
That's a good use of your leadership actions.
It was. Thanks for reminding me of that.
Probably.
tree.
How far away are they?
Oh, yeah. I could probably.
How far away are they? Yeah, check see how far away.
Yeah. I didn't call.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I should.
Yes.
This one here.
Yes.
And these I have to change formation.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you don't have to, but if you want to get back into,
Yeah.
I will do that.
That counts off. Good catch. That's gonna look good on the game. Yeah.
We'll edit that.
Okay. Right.
Or zoom in slow mo.
That's the introduction.
Okay. Good. Got all mine.
All right, everybody have an order?
Yes.
Hope so.
Initiative.
2. 3.
All right.
All right.
Mike want initiative?
I'm going first.
So he goes first.
Second missiles.
Did I? Uh-oh. I gave somebody the wrong order.
It's a friendly game. If you need to fix something, fix it.
Yeah. I'm good with that.
I pulled. I guess I pulled it out of the this bin, but yeah, there's other tokens in there. It was supposed to be change formation.
Oh, okay.
Even though these guys aren't probably going to be able to pull this off, they're going to attempt a shield wall.
All right. So Brian's rats here. He gave them a change formation order. So they're going to try to go from just a regular line formation. They're going to try to adopt a shield wall. So he's going to go command check, and the rats aren't very disciplined here.
Nope.
So they only roll 1 dice for their command checks, whereas most units roll 2, and he needed a 6 or more. He rolled a 1. So they failed that. So they failed to adopt their formation, and they are disorganized.
Yep, this is going to hurt.
So disorganized is a condition in the game that just kind of reflects a bit of a lack of cohesion within the unit. And that really manifests itself when they're attacking, which is not a good thing right now.
No, it isn't. Second missile.
Okay. No, I couldn't have gotten that.
Okay. Change formation. He's going to try to form a line back up. Okay. So I'm rolling just my command, right?
And they also failed. So they remain
Disorganized.
And you can stay disorganized. It doesn't. You're not forced to try to get rid of that condition. You can keep it. You're just going to be at a minus if you get engaged in any kind of combat.
Okay. First missiles.
Seems.
Forward.
Also full march.
Forward. March, sorry.
The log jam there because those guys ran,
Yeah.
fell back. Mike's got a little bit of a problem here because these guys fell back. It's jamming up part of his line.
He's not gonna move.
These guys are charging. So that their movement is what, like
27. Now, you can't, no, you're within the threat range
okay,
of them,
right?
so you can only go in your front arc or your back arc.
Okay,
Yeah, or if, so if you relatively want to go that way,
yeah,
then you can ignore this because you're in skirmishing.
okay,
So you can just go straight ahead and get out of this threat and then just do whatever you want to do as far as
okay,
that makes sense.
yeah. So I can go. I want to do this, and I go. So that would be 15
Yeah, that's well enough.
up here, and then I can pivot this way.
So at that point, you're out of his threat. So
Killed your team.
Was it here?
Yeah.
And then go another
12.
12.
Is that what you want?
Yeah.
No, it's 22.
How's that?
It's,
Okay. Thank you. Your turn.
So what happened here when these cavalry began their movement, since they were within a certain distance of Brian's rats, they had a bit more restriction on their movements. They can only either go forward or go back. So in this case, what Mike did was he just moved them forward. Since they're skirmishers, they more or less ignore a lot of your terrain penalties. So he moved them forward to within they were out of the threat range, and then they have more free form movement.
So I'm charging this guys.
Okay. You can't shoot as a response because you have second missiles. So you
Yeah.
can take it or run. Actually, first off, though, what's your presence?
Oh yeah, these guys are not that great. Tree folk.
No, you should have a little higher presence.
Oh, okay. Two per unit.
Yeah, so 6.
So they have a 4.
So Mike's tree folk are charging Brian's ratkin muskets, and the tree folk have a total higher presence. So Brian's going to have to roll a command check here with his rats to see if they flee. So you got to do that first, then you can decide on an action. So that's by company.
Fail. Pass. Pass. And fail.
So 2 of the 4 companies just flood the field. So they are out of the battle. Now his remaining 2 have to decide how he wants to respond. You have 3 options to responding when you're engaged in hand combat. You can either just take the charge, you can fall back, or if you have missile weapons, you can shoot. But Brian has muskets. They can't shoot as a response to a charge. So his only options are taking the charge or falling back.
Take the charge.
Take it.
Okay.
Take it like a rat.
So I can do these up like this.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's this. Charge.
On the disorganized guys, I'm guessing.
Yep. All right, so we have the same thing here. These rats have to.
Total
They're getting
presence.
charged by you with a higher presence. So we'll see what happens. And one flees the field.
He's coming up here.
So they're taking it, Brian?
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to turn out well.
No.
That's your turn.
That is all mine.
Okay, I got one more here. Guess what this is? Charge. These
I-
guys are a little better though. aren't
I
they?
actually have a 6 presence.
So do I. Do I? Yeah, 3 times 2.
Okay.
Yeah, so their presence is the same, so nothing happens. But Brian, you can choose to flee.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
That's it for me.
That's it for me.
So for the movement and reveal orders, let's go to first missiles combat.
First missiles.
Yep.
I am going to target. Now, since they're in formation here,
You can target,
You can target.
so you can shoot at these guys, though you're going to have an equal chance of hitting your
okay.
own guys.
Can I just target this
Yeah.
unit though,
Yeah.
and not have that?
Yes,
Okay.
because they're not engaged in combat.
All right. Let's just do that. 1, 2, 3.
Defense is 6.
Oh, 4. And there's 2 with a 10.
Fast.
Okay. Second one. 2.
Phase.
And third unit here. 3.
Pass. I have no first missiles.
Yeah, it's all minors.
That's it.
So name combat march. March. Did you want to shoot Mike?
I did.
Yes. You can shoot first.
Okay. Yeah. Those are my guys, right?
You can still shoot.
I have no one I can shoot.
I have to be able to shoot that wizard right now.
Oh, the wizard. Yeah, look at that.
That's a hero. That was wizard's over there.
All right. Well, the hero. Looks like I can do that.
Yeah.
Huh?
That's how you could.
Okay. So this guy's going to shoot your hero.
Can the guy on the end do it too?
I don't think so because I have.
Other end.
Oh yeah, this one. This one, yes. So these 2 can shoot the hero. Now, what's your hero's defense?
20.
Damn.
No. That guy has a 7.
Okay. So this first archers. 2 hits.
Pass.
Okay. Second one. 2 hits and a 10.
That is failure.
Okay, it's your turn. On march.
He is going to cast that frenzy spell again.
Should I counter?
I will be using 5 dice.
So I have 6 dice to play with, right? I'm gonna use 2 to counterspell it.
I got 5 successes.
I'm not even gonna roll.
Oh, go ahead, Mike.
1. Okay. So do I take away one of his success?
That's still math.
So they are now frenzied. Again.
I have 4 dice left.
Okay, sure.
I am going to cast a spell. If I can borrow this, please. Just because I can. Let me see. So I'll do somewhere. Divine Strike. That's 20 centimeters. I don't want to be set up. Use Banish.
That's
Oh, is it? It doesn't say demons.
sure.
If your enemy fades out of existence.
Oh, yeah.
Does it have to be a demon though?
Oh, no, that one? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, that's fine. Yep, that's fine.
Because I'm just right at
Yep.
30 centimeters.
That's how I was thinking a different spell. Yep.
Okay. So my wizard's going to try to banish this unit here. I have 4 dice to play with.
I will counter with my other wizard.
Nice.
The effect.
Okay.
So you're not necessarily targeting just him.
Okay.
You maybe get multiple in there if you roll well enough.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, right here. The effect you mean?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. So I'm rolling 4.
I'm rolling 6.
I think that's 6, right? Target number.
Yep. More the better. 1. Which does nothing for them since they have a presence of 2.
I had 3 successes there.
Okay.
Good shot.
Yeah. That's right. That's my first spell.
Okay. In combat?
And got it for March.
I mean,
It's for me too.
And combat.
where do you want to start?
Let's start right here.
That's not gonna work.
I want initiative, didn't I?
Yes, you do. Doesn't really matter, but yeah.
So I'm rolling 6 dice.
You're going to smash through these rats like they're tomato cans. So.
Right. I have fear.
You're one or two.
7. 1. You have fear also?
No.
They're the exact opposite of fear. They should view you with courage, really. At the same time.
Right.
And because I'm disorganized, I lose one hand, right?
And you lose a hand for this.
All right. So I'm rolling 6. And your defense is?
6.
And there's a 10. And there's 4 successes.
So they are past their.
Okay.
But I do get to attack back first.
Well, you can still get attack with it. Okay.
Yeah.
If you're resolute,
I do. This is fun. Oh! 2 10s. And 4 successes.
Nope. Okay. So immediate break check.
No, you
Right.
should get attacked.
I'm sorry. What's your defense?
My defense is 5.
Look at that. You get a break. They're going down swinging.
I guess so.
Watch Mike. He's going to roll a 1.
Is my next one?
Okay. Yeah, the attack
Wait,
right there.
Right. So I'm doing just 2. I have
Yeah,
I
toughness.
have toughness of 2. You had one success?
Oh, that 1-6. So close. Okay.
That was close.
Wow.
And my second one missed, so
Okay.
that's it for that one. So now they make,
Yep, they are above their break point, so now they're gonna roll and see what happens.
and they pass.
Oh, they pass, so they just fall back.
Okay, over here.
Okay. So these guys are tree folk. Hand to hand is 4.
My defense is only a 2.
Well, there's 4 successes.
My swing gets got a no armor.
Okay. We'll just take one of those.
And then the other guys.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
2
Still
successes.
2. Oh, look at that. Now skirmishing, I lose a hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's your defense?
3 with a natural armor of 1. 4. I'm sorry. Those are tree folk, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 4.
That's
The natural armor of 2 successes.
1. Right. 2 successes and a break one. Oh, you have 7.
Oh, I thought you said 3 successes.
2.
Oh, okay. Then no. No, stop.
I mean, if you really want. And then my next guy, 2 hits.
Okay. 9.
And I am at my break point, not above. So,
Okay. So these guys on these guys.
steal this back.
Okay, some magic.
They're frenzied.
Oh, okay. What is their defense then?
6.
110. 1 success.
Did they?
Oh, their cover numbers are 2.
Yep.
Because you get a fight back.
Oh, yeah. Duh.
So it's fight back.
Yep.
Okay. The second attack. 2 successes.
Okay. What's the defense?
4. No, wait a second. Wait a second. 3. 5.
So that's 3 and 11 burn on.
Yep.
So they are piercing.
And they have fear.
Almost 200 weapons is not on the
Yeah, 2 weapons that were piercing.
one. Yep. So what's your defense?
5.
So they have fear, so reduce your hand.
Oh, yep. 110. No successes. Other than the 1. So
Plus 1.
1.
Yeah. I'm only rolling 2 dice, aren't I? I have toughness though. 2. One, 2, 9.
Another 10. And 2 hits.
7 or better. There we go.
Hit for hand. Second missiles.
Second missiles.
You got any?
Yeah.
You sure?
These guys are going to shoot those guys. Are these guys in short range now?
Oh yeah. That's not scissors.
Yep. So that means I have 2 plus 2 die 10, so I'm up to 6.
What's your armor piercing?
Armor piercing is 2.
So 4.
Three.
Okay.
Okay. All right, over here.
My turn.
Oh, sorry. Look at it. He's getting excited. Oh no. I might be able to get my wizard.
Oh yeah.
So
That unit. I like this thing.
I should have taken it out.
So, it's 10. It's 10. It's 10. Did I get a 10? And only 2 successes.
Okay. On the tree folk.
Yeah.
Pair of 2s.
Yeah. Tap them.
They're disorganized. So that man. 8.
Next guy.
You guys. Those are tree folk.
Yeah, there's a 7. Sorry.
Oh, it's this guy's. These guys.
Yeah.
I should have rolled more.
no, not for actually check.
Right. So it's always just 2.
Oh, they have toughness. No, they don't have toughness either. Oh,
No, but
you're a tree folk.
yeah, but I have my
Yeah,
my
you
hero
want
attached.
to use his command.
Oh, you just use that unit. Right. Okay, we're good. I get
Yeah.
1 against there.
And then your wizard.
My wizards.
Probably has 3 or 4.
Yeah, 3.
3. Oh, command 3. Yeah. There we go.
There.
I was hoping to use my regular regeneration. That helps with the breakpoints.
Take a missile.
Should we say if this is short range or not? 25.
Nope.
Nope. So I'm only rolling 5 dice. Armor piercing in 1.
6.
3.
Catapult. Taking those again.
Okay.
It has a minimum range.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
see.
close.
Yeah.
But
No, that's okay. I think
no, range 8, doesn't
8. Yeah. Okay. Three hits.
Oh. So I got 2 toughness. 9, 10.
Is that it for second?
Yep.
All right. All right. Well, we're gonna end the game here. Normally we kind of maybe play it out a little bit more until the inevitable conclusion, or if you have some kind of objective or scenario game, this is just kind of a pitched battle, just to give an example of how the game plays out. So, anybody have any questions or comments before you wrap it up?
Did you concede?
Next time I play the
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. You can always find us on Facebook at facebook.com/groups /Agents of Conflict. You're welcome to join up. We post these videos on here when we make them. So this is actually the first one we've made. So we'll have some others coming up. But you can find a link to our YouTube channel there, and we have some examples of play, like how to move, how to fight in combat, and what have you. So anyway, find us on Facebook, and please join up. Let us know if you have any questions, comments, suggestions. Thank you for watching.
See ya. Yeah.